Good day and welcome to AGK's Music Life. I'm your host Anthony K, and I'm back. That's right, it's been a long time since I've done a video for my channel. Way back, probably the last record video I did was Record Store Day, April this year. And I'm back again with another Record Store Day video. I know I haven't done any videos since then. I've been very busy on other projects that I work on now. But I've never missed a Record Store Day video since I started my channel. And I'm not going to miss one this time either. Of course, today is Black Friday, November 28th, 2025. And today, of course, is Record Store Day, Black Friday, the smaller drop of the two of the year. And as you guys know, I always go out, pick up records, and show you what I got. I normally would visit 3 different stores: Rick's Recollection, High Note, which used to be the Archtop Cafe, it's now called High Notes Vinyl, and of course PCV Vinyl in Oakville. And unfortunately, my favorite store and good friend of mine, Rick, of Rick's Recollections, closed his business at the end of August this year. He retired and closed the store. Very, very sad because I missed the closing. Unfortunately, I was away at the time and unable to go on his last day of business. And I miss him, and I'll miss Rick's Recollections. It was a great, great store. I took you guys there on many Record Store Days, and even on other occasions as well, including things like live streams. So a big shout out to Rick of Rick's Recollections. Happy retirement. Hope you and your lovely wife have a wonderful retirement. You will be missed in the record store community. That being said, I only had 2 stops this Record Store Day. High Notes Vinyl, which was just about a mile down the street from Rick's. So I went there this morning instead of course, Rick's. And then after that, I scooted out to Oakville and went to PCV Vinyl, which is always my other stop. So there wasn't much on the list this year I really wanted, not much at all. And there never really is on the Black Friday one. I did end up buying 5 pieces. I had on my list a bucket list of 4 pieces. I got 3 of my 4 pieces. One eluded me, and I'll probably have to pick it up online somewhere, and that was the Ramones live at CBGB's. That one was just the only place that got it was PCV Records. They only got 2 copies, which flew off the shelf like that. But I was able to get the other 3 of the 4 that I wanted, plus a couple other things. One that I didn't know was on the list, which I was actually really thrilled to get, and one that I'd seen on the list and was like, well, I'll look at it and decide on the spot. So I'm going to show you what I got. And like I said, only 5 records, so this isn't going to take very long. And I'm just going in the order of my stops and what I picked up off the shelves. So the first place I went, like I said, was High Notes Vinyl in Port Credit. And I picked up 3 titles there. Sorry, 3 titles there. One that was on my list of the 4, and 2 other things. So the first one I picked up was, as I get every Record Store Day, it was the Jazz Dispensary and Green Bullets. Another great collection featuring people like Dizzy Gillespie, Isaac Hayes Movement, Merrill Saunders, Bill Summers, and more. And it is, of course, a compilation of various things. The Jazz Dispensary releases, I love them. I have not missed a single Jazz Dispensary release since Record Store Day started. I have every single Jazz Dispensary release that has been released on Record Store Day. So my collection is once again complete with another great Jazz Dispensary release. I love these things. If you guys haven't heard these yet, you're really missing out, because it's always some great jazz and funk, and they really pick gems for these albums, and this one is no exception. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. They always are. and they're always really well done pressings as well. So Jazz Dispensary, this release for Black Friday called Green Bullets, and they also have wonderful cover art, really cool colored vinyl. I'm sure this is going to be spectacular, and I'm thrilled to get it. It was one of the ones that was 100% on my list and a must-have. And as usual, when I film a video, my puppy has to play with her squeaky toys. So, don't be playing with your squeaky toy right now. She's going to start barking. Sorry, guys. Sorry. This is what happens when you have a 1-year-old puppy. So the second thing I picked up from High Notes Vinyl was one that I had seen on the list, and I said, you know, I'll look at it. If they have it in the store, I'll look at it and decide on the spot whether I want to get it. I'll look at the track listing, etc. And that is Jazz Sabbath Live. So I grabbed it. It's a 2 LP set featuring all sorts of fantastic Black Sabbath hits, done of course by Jazz Sabbath, jazz renditions. I have talked about these albums before. A lot of people in the vinyl community know who Jazz Sabbath are. They are jazz versions of Black Sabbath songs. And this is a live recording of that band. I have their previous 3 studio albums. So I'm happy to pick this one up. Like I said, it was a maybe. And then when I saw it in the store, I was like, okay, yeah, you know, let's just grab it. Let's grab it. Because I'll probably be sorry if I don't. Because I've really enjoyed the 3 studio albums. So happy to have Jazz Sabbath Live. That was the second of the 3 things I picked up at High Notes Vinyl. And that was, like I said, not one of my 4 that I wanted. I got 3 of the 4 that I wanted. Like I said, Ramones eluded me. But I'm sure I'll pick it up online. And the third and final thing I picked up at High Notes Vinyl was one I never noticed on the list. I must have just missed it when I was going through the list, or maybe there wasn't cover art or something. I just didn't jump out at me. And when I saw it on the shelf, I was like, I need this. I need this. And it is a 12-inch single, 45 RPM, 12-inch single. And it is Faithless and Insomnia. Now, a lot of you people might not, in the vinyl community watching, might not know who this is and what this song is. And it's very important to me. And this is a 5-track Zootropic picture disc, 30th anniversary. So this song, Faithless Insomnia, came out in 1995 originally. And why it's so special to me and why I had to have it is because this is a legendary, I mean absolutely legendary, one of the earliest trance songs ever recorded and released. It is an iconic trance piece, and people that know me well know I'm very much into trance. In the 90s, a lot of the bands that I was listening to in the 70s and 80s were stopping recording. There was only a handful of bands from the 70s and 80s that I even followed into the 90s. But for me, the decade of the 90s was a dead decade. There was just nothing going on for me, like in the way of new bands. I wasn't into grunge or hip hop or rap or any of the stuff that was really popular in the 90s. I wasn't into that music. And I was getting tired of listening to the stuff that I bought in the 70s and 80s. I was really losing interest in music, and I've talked about this before. And in the late 1990s, around 1998 or so, I discovered trance and fell in love with trance, techno and trance, mainly trance, progressive trance, dream trance, vocal trance, dolphin trance, so many different forms of trance, and absolutely loved it. Fell in love with that genre of music, and I listened to I stopped listening to pretty much everything else other than, you know, some of my favorite bands. But pretty much stopped listening to a lot of music and was heavily into trance for a good 10 years, from like 98 to around 2008. It was mostly all I listened to. And then in the late 2000s, I started getting back into rock. Some of the stuff that was starting to come out in the 2000s started to interest me. And then, of course, in the 2010s, vinyl started up again. And I came full circle and came back into listening to all my 70s and 80s stuff. It had been a while. It was fresh again to me. It was very fresh again to me. And I kind of started to die out of trance for a while in the 2010s. But in the last couple of years, I'm listening to it a lot once again. It's kind of come full circle now, because I haven't listened to it very much in the last 15 or 16 or 17 years. And now in the last couple of years, I am heavily back into it, especially with what I do now, with the streaming I do now. I'm using a lot of trance, and I've gotten back into it again. And a lot of the trance that came out, we never saw it on vinyl here. Most trance that came out digitally. It came out on CD and whatnot. And now that it's kind of become retro, some of the early trance is starting to be released. The last couple of years, I've seen a lot of trance collections being released, as well as albums, and I've been grabbing them as they come out. So when I saw Faithless and Insomnia today, it was a no-brainer. I had to have it. Faithless Insomnia. It is a legendary freaking song, a legendary song, and this has got 5 different mixes of it. So I'm absolutely thrilled to find this. This was my very, very pleasant surprise of Record Store Day. Absolutely thrilled to have this. I did not know this was coming out, and the nice surprise. I think every Record Store Day I find one record that's just like, wow, this is a gem, an absolute gem. So that is all I got at High Notes. So they didn't have 3 of the 4 that I wanted at High Notes. So then I popped off down the road about 20 minutes to PCV Records in Oakville, where I did find 2 more of the 4 that I was looking for. I didn't get anything else at PCV. I did look at a few things and hummed about a few things, but decided, just reel it in, HGK. Don't be spending too much money. Just get what you know you really want. So I just grabbed the other 2 things that were on my bucket list for this Record Store Day. So happy to have them. And the first is Rock the Plaza. Rock the Plaza. It is a live concert from November 11th, 2022. And it was a concert to save the historic Plaza Theater. And the reason I got this, of course, is because Alice Cooper. That's right. Rock the Plaza was a benefit concert done by Alice Cooper, Joshua Home from Queens of the Stone Age, Orianthi, female guitarist and performer who actually played for a number of years in Alice Cooper's touring band, and Paul Rogers, of course, of Free and Bad Company. They were the 4 main headliners of this concert, of this benefit concert, with a special band. So it's not Alice's usual band. It's a band made up of a number of people, including Eric Singer on drums. So thrilled to get this. It has all sorts of songs from these artists. Side A is all Alice with No More Mr. Nice Guy, I'm 18, Under My Wheels, School's Out, Another Brick on the Wall. But then we have other things, like Let's Dance, Something Stupid, I Got You Babe with Orianthi, Can't Get Enough, of course, Bad Company song, Feel Like Making Love, Bad Company song. And then the last side, we've got like Rebel Rebel being performed by them. Of course, the David Bowie song, My Generation being performed by Alice, and All Right Now by Paul Rogers. So I'm really interested to hear this concert. I think it's going to be really, really great. And of course, being an Alice Cooper fan, I had to have it to complete my Alice Cooper collection. It's a double LP, so thrilled to have it. I don't think it's on any sort of special vinyl. But yeah, thrilled to have that. That was number 3 of the 4 things that was on my list. And last but not least, the number 1 thing I wanted on this Black Friday Record Store Day, I'm thrilled to have, and it is, of course, Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare, live at the Forum, Los Angeles, June 17th, 1975. It is a 2 LP set. And of course, people that know me very well know that this was the first time I met Alice Cooper. The first time I met any rock star or any celebrity really was at this concert when I had a backstage. I've talked about it on other videos. I had a backstage pass and met Alice Cooper at the age of only 16 years old. Thrill of a life. Met Alice, got his autograph, and I went to this tour. So I am so happy to finally have this tour on vinyl. Here is my ticket stub from that time, from that concert in 1975. A floor seat, backstage floor seat. Alice Cooper, and my ticket was May 2nd, 1975, for a grand total of $7 for a floor seat. What row is this? Row T, row T floor seat. So this tour is very, very special for me because it was the first time I met Alice, the first time I met anybody, and to finally have this concert on vinyl, not the same concert, but you know, a month later than the show I saw, to have this. It is a 2 LP set. I believe it's on some sort of colored vinyl. I believe. I'm not sure about that. But I am thrilled to have this. It is such a great show. The Welcome to My Nightmare tour was so well choreographed. It was so well staged. And the Black Widow guitar duo with Steve Hunter, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So thrilled to finally have Alice Cooper and the Welcome to My Nightmare. Finally, they've released a version of that, a proper, not bootleg or anything, version of that tour, and thrilled to have it. And that is my Record Store Day, Black Friday 2025. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try to get another video done in December. I know I promised a video probably back in April, and I never got around to doing any. But I really do want to do one in December, basically to show you guys everything I bought. Well, not everything, but the best of the things I bought in 2025, because I've shown you nothing for 2025 that I've purchased yet. I bought no old vinyl at all in 2025. I do not buy any. I do not go crate digging anymore. I buy no old vinyl anymore. My old vinyl collection is where I want it. So the only things I'm buying are new releases or remasters, box sets, things like that, new reissues, and I'll bring you some of that stuff in a future video. That's it. That's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy Black Friday, Record Store Day, all you Record Store Day shoppers. I hope you had great things. I actually am going to watch, see what some of you other people got today in the vinyl community. Take care. I will see you next time. And as I always say, rock and roll.